Hello, I'm Christopher Hellman with National Priorities Project, and the topic of today's budget brief is employment. There are a couple of numbers and concepts that are important to keep in mind as you track trends in employment in the United States over time. The first and most important, obviously, is the number of people who are unemployed. Well, what does this mean? The number of people unemployed, based on the definition of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, is quite literally the number of people who've lost their jobs. And at this point in time, the rate of unemployment in this country is roughly 8.4%. But there's another larger number that's also important, and that comes under the category of underemployed. Underemployed people are people who are working, but they're working part-time or less than full-time, not because they want to, but because that's the only job they could find. Another category, another portion of the workforce that's categorized under underemployment is people who are unemployed but no longer actually looking for work. When you put these two categories together and add it to that, the current rate of unemployment is much higher. It's actually about 14.8%. A third number that's important to keep in mind is the number of people who are entering the workforce or entering employment. Each month, the U.S. economy adds a certain number of workers to the labor force. For instance, last month, 200,000 new workers entered the labor force. Why is this important? Well, in order to maintain this level of unemployment, you have to add a minimum of 200,000 jobs in the past month in order to make sure that everybody who entered the workforce is currently employed. Therefore, if you want to reduce the size of the unemployment, you have to add more jobs than the number of new people entering the workforce. So that means that workforce size is actually a very important number. And what we've seen over the last year, for instance, is that the size of the U.S. workforce has actually grown by about 1.3 million people. So, in order for us to maintain this level of unemployment over a year, we'd have to add a minimum of 1.3 million jobs. If you want to reduce unemployment, you have to add more than that. And quite factually, you'd have to add significantly more because you have to also factor in the number of people who are unemployed but not currently looking for work. So altogether, these are the numbers that tell the unemployment story. For more information on employment in this country, look at our website and our database at nationalpriorities.org.